War is raging, government is stealing our freedom, food processing plants are burning, and gun sales are through the roof. You're in the right place. This is The Prepared Mind.
All right, everyone, welcome to the Friday free-for-all, and today it's free for all. It is, folks. It's Friday. We made it through a week, and the reason I elected to bring YouTube on live was a couple reasons for the Friday free-for-all, along with the thepreparedmind.club, along with subscribestar.com, and along with X. Basically, it's the same crowd potential as Sunday Night Live, but the reason is not only did I miss last night, but this has been one of the weirdest weeks I have ever experienced politically. Listening to Trump attack you and me and crap on us and shit on us and talk down at us and make fun of us and piss us off and piss on us and then say he doesn't need us, we're losers, we're stupid. And then he comes back and says, well, maybe I'll do an independent counsel. And then he's like, no, never mind on that. And then well, now we're going to release files from the court case. Yeah, we really believe that's going to do something. And the apologists, anyone who says, I'm not going to criticize Trump, and if you criticize Trump, right, he was like, throw the MAGA train away. Dude, Make America Great Again it's not a political party. It's a slogan. Anyways, I want to read something from someone who just went apologist for Trump. And I want you to listen to the headline, and I'll wait a few seconds, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts. I want your thoughts down below. Mr. Uman is in the house. He's the moderator on the Friday Free for All, and he's going to put comments up on the screen. We'll shotgun it. But, of course, everyone remember, Sunday Night Live, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be right back here live for everybody. And we'll see what stupid happens over the weekend. But now back to our opening story, right? What do we want to call this? The top story. And now our top story of the week on the Friday Free-for-All is, how can anyone excuse the attempt to sweep all of this Epstein list, Epstein evidence, Epstein co-criminals under the rug? How do you do that? So I'm going to go to none other than nationally syndicated, super famous, super dupus writer, political commentator Wayne Root. And this is the headline. If you're still mad at President Trump over the Epstein files, stop to think about what America would look like if Kamala had been elected instead. That's your alternative. Now, thank God for Trump. Fuck you, Wayne. Oh, I'm sorry. I needed to allow you guys to think about that for just a second. All right, now that you had a chance to think about it, fuck you, Wayne. No way am I buying that bullshit. No way, no how, no fucking way. We already knew that Washington, D.C. and Israel were raping kids. We already knew about it. And we didn't want Kamala because she is one of them on the left that'll sweep everything away, hide anything. She's a criminal. She's scum. She's a liar. She's a piece of shit. We already knew that about her. But we believed Trump wasn't one of the pedophiles. We believed he wasn't controlled. And he said he would release that list. And he refused. And he refused to say anything for months and months and months, letting Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino take the heat until he finally stepped in and tried saying, no, Then we yelled. He got mad. He called us names. Right? Said it's a hoax. Then he said that the Obama, Clinton, and Biden made it up. Right? He said he would release the list, and then he refused and said we're stupid for believing it. Dude, you were fucking believing it too. How stupid are you, Mr. President? You're making decisions. You're doing thinking with information none of us have. And the best you can do is fucking make fun of us. You, Mr. President, said you would drain the swamp. We didn't ask for evil light, not evil, right? We didn't ask for pedo light. We didn't ask for pedophilia at all. We demanded justice, and you said you would give it to us. Right? Unbelievable. Wayne Root is going to tell me to thank God for Trump? Really? Right? Just, you want me to thank God? I will not. Absolutely no. Thank God for a man who will allow this to happen. A man who is the most powerful man in the world, the president. The most powerful man with the most powerful military, with the most powerful law enforcement, the most powerful ability to reach out and affect the world. I am not going to, folks. Not going to do it. I'm not going to thank God for a man with all that power who will allow pedophiles, millionaire pedophiles, billionaire pedophiles, media pedophiles, political pedophiles, Israeli pedophiles, British pedophiles, American pedophiles, worldwide pedophile. Anyone who will allow that with the amount of power he has is a scumbag. Fucking period. Right? He's going to allow them to rape and murder children. But we should thank God for that. Thank God Trump is the one allowing it and not Kamala allowing it, because it was the same result either way. What the fuck kind of thinking is that? Is that Mr. Wayne Root Talmudic wisdom? Unbelievable. I mean, how much money did they have to give Wayne Root to say stupid shit like that? And these other social media guys. Now, look, if they came to me and they said, look, John, we're going to give you $1 million to tell people to thank God for Trump. $1 million is a lot of money. I could use $1 million. I could. Couldn't you? How could I come here and sit in front of this? Knowing what I know, knowing you know what you know, knowing you know that I know that you know that I know fucking better. And then I'm going to take their money, and then I'm going to sit here and go, you know what? I thought about this. It's okay that for the last 100 years, these extremely rich, sick, perverted, evil, satanic fucks have been raping children. They're now using the internet to source them, hunt them down, attract them, kidnap them, traffic them down to Jeffrey Epstein's island and other sanctuaries like the ones in New Mexico. Oh, yeah, we know about them. We know about the Ivy League pedophilia groups. Over on the West Coast, we know about the Bohemian Grove and all that shit. We know. You know that I know that we all know. And I'm going to sit here and go, you know what? It's okay. Because they promised they're not going to do it anymore. See, that's just it. Or are they going to go to Trump and they're going to call Trump and go, now listen, Big Orange, here's the score. I'm a billionaire. I'm a banker and a financier on Wall Street. Okay, I do. I work for AIPAC also, and I do political contributions. Yeah, that's me. Look at your account. Over $200 million in your account from AIPAC. That's right, Mr. Trump. That's right, Big Orange. Yeah, and so what I want you to know, though, is I really thought about this whole pedophile thing and Jeffrey Epstein. I know I'm on the list, but here's the score. I decided it's probably just not the nicest thing to do anymore. Raping and killing children, drinking their blood. Yeah, I'm just going to stop. So if you don't arrest me and anyone else, look, it's cool. I'll knock it off. I promise. Really. From here on out, I'll be a good guy. Got it? Okay. All right, Big Orange, you're the man. Bye. No, not a fucking chance, right? Like they're just going to stop now that we're watching. What, stop for 5 minutes? Stop for a week? Unbelievable. Now, thank God for Trump. No, fuck you. Folks, do you understand how serious this is? I'm sure most of you do. Maybe some new people aren't quite caught up. The most powerful people in the world having their minions hunt for children to kidnap and send to them and groom them and train them to be sex toys and worse. And we're supposed to just believe Trump. And thank God for Trump, because it's not Kamala. At least with Kamala, we go, fucking figures. Well, if it wasn't for Trump, we wouldn't even get this far. Yeah. It does no good. No good to get this far and not finish, right? Until you finish the race, you're not finished. You're not finished. They're telling us we can't finish the race. Unbelievable. We can't have the answer. We can't finish this out. We can't get rid of any of the criminals. To me, it's over the top. I want to hear what you guys have to think about this. I want your thoughts. It's the Free for All Friday, and maybe Mr. Ooman has some comments from you guys. I sure hope we do. Oh, by the way, we're also on Facebook. I don't give Facebook a big call out anymore, but yeah, we still got our Prepared Mind Facebook. Mr. Ooman, does anyone have any interesting thoughts? And of course, Mr. Redneck Roughneck. He says it's Friday time for late night news dumps, so they have time to mellow before Monday. Oh, very interesting, Redneck Roughneck. Yes, the mainstream media likes to put stuff out there, float trial balloons and see if the people buy it, see if they understand, see if they'll accept something, right? And if they don't like it Friday night, they'll try something different Saturday, and then Sunday they'll try it all weekend. They'll use social media, mainstream media does, to put their news out there, see if they can hook some dum-dums. Maybe that's what this Wayne Root article was about, was, oh, you're right. Kamala would have been much worse. Really? Really? Now, I can name the ways that I know it would be worse with Kamala in the White House. The southern border would be wide fucking open. Illegals from all over the world would be flooding into the country as fast or faster than ever. That's a fact. Trump put a stop to that. Good. But don't tell me, oh, we put a stop to it, so now we just need to find the good ones and give them a fast track, a way to not punish them. If they've been here more than 5 years, they can stay. Forget it. You managed to come here, break the law, and hide it for 5 years or more, and you want me to go, oh, you must be a great citizen. No, you're a great criminal. And I understand it, folks. I understand why they want that. They want more voters. And the Republican dumb bitch in Florida, Congresswoman, what's her name? Salazar? That dumb bitch held a speech in Spanish trying to give Trump a message. She's a Republican from Florida. Every legal immigrant that has come here hates these illegals. They don't hate them as humans. They hate the fact that they're here illegally. It's incredible. No, there's no excusing this. Go back out of the country and then try and come in legally. That's it. That's the answer. But yeah, it would be worse with Kamala. It would be worse. How about the economy? Inflation went down. Trump wants all the credit for inflation coming down. Good. We're going to have an economic slowdown, the likes of which nobody has seen in a long time. I don't know if we're going to get it as bad as 1929 to 1932 stock market crash, but there's one piece of information there that tells me that's very possible. And that is that the 1920s were called the Roaring Twenties. The Roaring Twenties. What made it roar? All the people throwing their money, just regular people now, into Wall Street. Everyone's going to be a millionaire. Sound familiar, Bitcoin? Everyone's going to be rich. Everyone's going to have a great house and a nice car. It's going to be great. So everyone kept piling their money in. They inflated the market and it collapsed. And then the president decided to do a bunch of tariffs. Well, back then, the world really didn't need America. So they tariffed the shit out of America back. I understand why Trump is doing the tariffs, and it makes sense to do it with raw materials and manufacturing to get more jobs and more American production of raw materials, natural resources. But tariffing a country that produces coffee, they're not competing with us. A country that grows chocolate, they're not competing with us. We can't grow chocolate up here. Right? You don't fuck with countries that have what you need. Right. And why bother with countries that don't? Anyways, it's going to be a mess. I get it. I get that Kamala would be a much worse president, but I am not going to accept, well, you know, we're going to have to give them this one. Oh, we're going to have to give an incredible, criminal, evil fucking network a pass, huh? Release the list. Release the list. Anyways, great topic. I'm sure it's not going to go away, folks. In fact, I don't want anyone to forget about Epstein because our pressure worked. It pissed Trump off. Then he attacked us, and we kept at him. We kept at him. We kept pushing whitehouse.gov, social media. We kept fucking demanding. And he's still waffling. He's trying to hide. He's trying to dodge it. They're trying to say, oh, we're doing all these other things out here. Look at this great shit we're doing. We're going after some election stuff, and we're going after some collusion hoax stuff. Yeah. I've decided I don't ever want to meet Trump. Ever. I know enough about him now that I don't want him ever to meet me or my family or my kids or anything. Why would I bother? Right? Someone who would allow children to continue to be raped. Not just raped in the past, but continue to be raped. Unfucking believable. And remember, hundreds of millions of dollars of hush money has been paid. Remember when they criminalized Trump's hush money case? Oh, Trump did hush money. He did hush money with that porn whore, Stormy Daniels. Hush money. Isn't that a crime? Hush. Right? Don't talk about the sex. What about Congress and the $17 million of your tax money that has gone to pay complaints, sexual harassment complaints from all the homosexuals and fucking perverts and predators in Congress? Oh, yeah. And we're supposed to look the other way on the hush money paid by the royal family of England, J.P. Morgan, and other, shall we say, financiers and rich people? Not for sale, folks. Not for sale. If I ever sit here and smile and go, okay, everyone, it's cool. Trump's done enough. He's done enough. We can back off now. You know they sent me $1 million in my bank account. You'll know I'm being fucking facetious. I'll take the money and go, yeah, they're all good people, right? No one's called me. No one's offered me money. No one's called me and threatened me. No one said anything, John, about what you're talking about. The only thing I've seen is that YouTube is sending me nasty grams telling me they don't like my content, and so it's not going to be monetized. The funny thing is they haven't been monetizing it any fucking way. So what's the difference? Facts, truth, and more facts. All right, Mr. Uman, who's up next on this Friday free for all? We've got Badass Diving Frog. And he says, as far as I'm concerned, Trump is a self-involved bullshit artist. Self-involved, self-serving. I've always thought of him as an egotistical dude. I've always thought of him as a fucking megalomaniac. Sure. Now, here's the deal. Trump was elected not for his... What? Well, what is Trump? Trump is a billionaire. Trump is an entertainer. Trump is a property developer, hotel developer, business developer. Trump is not a political expert. Trump is not an economist and an expert. Trump is not a military expert. But see, here's the deal. When you're the president, they could elect me. Someone could elect me or appoint me president. I'll make the best decisions I can. But what you do is you have people who are experts in all of those fields. That would be the president's cabinet. And you rely on them for information. Now, in Trump's case, he keeps relying on shitty appointments. People that are Democrats or rhinos. People that are recommended by AIPAC and Israel. People that are recommended by the Wall Street banking cartels. You're not going to get an America first, which is what we want, America first. People who are concerned about you and me, right? Regular people, our paycheck, Main Street, not Wall Street, Main Street. We're not going to get that. Not with Trump, not with anyone, right? We're like mushrooms. They feed us a little bit of shit and they keep us in the dark. And whatever we produce, they take. Crazy business. Anyways, yeah. You know what? Trump had an opportunity to make a huge difference. And what Trump has done is shown us how easy it is to be controlled. Right? He was now, even though he's not a world famous politician, right? He is a businessman and a property developer, a real estate developer, and an entertainer. That should have been good enough. He could have proven that as a billionaire, he wasn't going to allow himself to be bought or influenced. Maybe he hasn't. They did shoot him. They did arrest him. They did sue him in court. They've done everything they can to smear him and trash him. They even tried criminally going after him for files that were at his house. They raided his house. He didn't go away. After all that, including being shot at. Hit in the ear, right? So the question becomes, what did they do to get to him? It wasn't just Howard Litnick whispering in his ear like fucking worm tongue, right? It wasn't just that. There's something else going on there. In any event, yeah, these self-involved, self-serving. That's what these fucking people are. But you would think that if you made America great again, that as a business person, you would benefit from your businesses. I don't know what deals he's cutting to enrich himself and his family, apart from the meme coin he did. But there's something in it for him. Maybe now he's just trying to get out with his fucking life. I don't know. You see, he could go to the microphone. He could go to Truth Central. He could go to X. He could do a simulcast across all networks and say, I've been threatened. They've threatened my life and my family's life. And he could name some names. He could name the banks. He could name the Europeans. He could name the Israelis. right? Individual names as well as organizations. And he could say, if I end up dead, they did it, and you, the American people, have a right and a duty to revolt and throw this government away and get a new one. If they kill me, that is the next step, right? And he could say, these same people, killed JFK for less than what they need to kill Trump for. Oh, this whole thing is a fucking mess, folks. It truly is. It really is a fucking mess. Unbelievable. Okay, let's have it be my turn. I want to hop on this one. I haven't talked about Joy Reid, the woke DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, stooge, racist. That Joy Reid, who has very short hair on her head, but it's quite oftentimes bleach blonde, as white as my hair. This is natural, and she culturally appropriated blonde hair onto a black woman. Well, she appeared on Piers Morgan and had a meltdown. And Piers Morgan, a man who I don't particularly care for because of his attack on people who were against the Jim Jones juice and a couple other things, but he roasted her because she played the race card over her getting fired at MSNBC. She was not fired for being black. She was fired because she wasn't putting bums in seats, right? You have to get ratings to be on an NBC or an NBC subcorporation or affiliate. And she wasn't getting it. That's why she got fired. And probably for being an asshole and a racist. An open racist. Anyways, I think even left-wing media, a lot of it, even Piers, is probably done with the race-baiting horse shit. Its time has passed, just like the LGBTQ dipshits and others. In any event, I just want to let everyone know that they're still trying to play those cards. If we had Kamala Harris in, oh yes, not only would we have an open border, but we would have all of the rainbow flag waving, butt pirate felchers, trannies, drag queens, transgenders, just your LGBTQ pedophile crowd would be going great gangbusters. Great gangbusters. And by the way, Israel loves the LGBTQ pedophile nonsense that got shoved down our throats. It actually ties in, believe it or not, with their, believe it or not, publicly released agenda that has been out for decades. It's public, but it's not in your face. But it's public, and they've stated what they want for Europe and America. And they've told us years ago, and they're still saying it, what they want to do to us. Israel wants to dominate the world. Oh, yeah. Dominate the world. Dominate the world. Just like Islam. Oh, yeah. Just like Islam. Don't forget, folks, Islam wants to take over the country as well. In fact, the foreign-born scum, Muslim terror supporter, and Sharia communist Mandami, the New York mayoral candidate, he says he's okay with the abolition of private property, the destruction of the concept, the taking away of all private property. In fact, everything belongs to the government, and they'll redistribute it to wherever they want. So in this country, either we kick out the terrorists and people that want to destroy our country, and we kick out the communists, or they are going to do everything they can to take down this nation. All right, folks, we're halfway through the Friday Free for All. It's your turn. Mr. Uman, who's up next? What do we have? Bump, 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 bump. We got Booger's Speed Shop. Hey, he did a $2 super chat. Thank you, Booger. He said, heard anything about the white van false flag with LP? I don't know what the LP part is, but what I do know is that an explosion occurred in Los Angeles I know what he's talking about. The white van, false flag. I got it. Go ahead and leave that up. Yeah, there was a van that was captured. It had dozens of 5-gallon propane bottles and gasoline, fuel. It's like, what are they going to do with that? While it would cause a mess, like if you poured gasoline all inside the van and you lit it on fire and it's burning and roiling and it's super hot, and the propane is going to get hot, and then it's going to start bleeding off some gas, and it's going to catch fire, and it's going to keep the heat going. And those canisters, if they get hot enough and expand enough, they exceed 150 psi or 180, whatever their safety rating is, they could explode and cause more trouble. But it's not quite a bomb. It's kind of a poor man's bomb. So I don't know. I don't know if this is a false flag by our government or another government, say in the Middle East or in Europe, or is this a low IQ, low brow, low budget attempt by Antifa, BLM, pro-Palestinians, pro-Hamas, Democrats, thinking that this is how things work because they saw it in a movie. Anyways, Redneck Roughneck said to Booger Speed Shop, he says, seems it was just another foreigner supposedly servicing food trucks. Wink, wink, nod, nod, fat chance. I think it was probably a foiled attempt. So 75 5-gallon tanks, that's a lot of propane, folks. 76 times 5. That's over 350 gallons of liquid propane, LP. 15 5-gallon gas cans. That's a lot. 15 times 5. 75 gallons of gasoline and 10 gallons of diesel. Diesel. Anyways, it is mixing diesel with ammonium nitrate fertilizer. That gets you your fuel bomb. Just diesel all by itself is just a slow burning, cooler burning fuel. Diesel doesn't even burn in an engine unless you ramp up the pressure incredibly. That's what the old turbo thing's about. In any event, thank you, Lauren, for a little more details on that. But the terrorism is out there. There was an explosion, as I was saying, until I realized LP, liquid propane. There was an explosion at a sheriff's training facility in the Los Angeles area. 3 people are dead. An explosion. Now, see that poor man's bomb we just talked about, a van stuffed full of flammable hydrocarbons. It would cause an explosion, could cause an explosion, could destroy a lot of property, could kill people. So another explosion, they killed 3 people. Is it terrorism? Uman says, Corsair said they were reporting it was looking like an accident. The one in L.A.? Well, you see, yeah, they catch someone clearly 15 5-gallon containers of gas, 10 gallons of diesel, and 75 fucking propane tanks. That sounds like a terror threat that they're playing off. And so now they're reporting it was at a bomb training facility, says Trucker Hershey in Los Angeles. Yeah, they, believe it or not, folks, they do have bomb ranges, bomb squads, training facilities for these sorts of things. It wouldn't surprise me, right? Wouldn't surprise me that something went haywire. But Democrats, they could be part of this. Antifa could be part of this because we know they attacked law enforcement in Georgia a couple of years ago, back during the 2020 Summer of Love riots. Antifa went in there and shot at police, and a bunch of them were arrested. I think a few of them were shot. They've tried this several times, attacking police at their training facilities. In fact, some egg-sucking moron Democrat Gen Z fool said, oh, yeah, the government's not afraid of all the veterans out there. Hang on to that thought. Corsair Training says EOD, Explosives Ordnance Disposal, was training and moving stuff. Well, it could have been an accident. Could have been. The people that would probably know what they were doing, sadly are killed. That's terrible news. But, you're not... Explosive Ordnance Disposal, EOD. The guys that killed me were in the Marine Corps were the unexploded ordnance disposal guys. They were fucking nuts. Right? They'd get bombs that weren't blowing up, somehow get them to not blowing up while they take them to a place to go blow them up. Yeah, bomb stuff is dangerous. But I don't know. I mean, accidents happen, folks. But at this time, in this day and age, this political environment, and I think that's probably most critical, in this political environment, I am absolutely suspicious of everything. I'm hoping it was just an accident. Right? Hard to say. In any event, I know how to figure this out, Corsair. I got this for you. What we need to do is send to LA the 3 Keystone Stooges. That's a combination of the 3 Stooges and the Keystone Cops. Cash, Dan, and Spamala Bondi. They should go there. They'll sort this out right away. They'll probably tell us, can you believe it? Those 3 people that died, they were the ones on Epstein's list. They're all dead now. I guess the case closed. See how that works? That's fucking convenient, is it not? All right. Mr. Ooman, let's do it. Who's up next? We've got James Nicholson. He says, good evening, John. Notice how the Republicans were all able to vote together on the big, beautiful bill. Yeah, they were able to spend more money than ever, fund more programs than ever, increase the baseline budgeting as usual. Yeah, they sure did. James says, I wonder if the Epstein list had anything to do with that. That control could be worth defending. Oh, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Anytime the powers that be, that's the bankers, the financiers, the Federal Reserve, the European Central Bank, right? Name your controller anytime they want. And I'm talking about Israel. I'm talking about England. I'm talking about Europe. Anytime they want. If they need to pull someone's chain, they'll pull their fucking chain. Just to get just enough votes. They'll tell these 3 guys over here, hey, you can vote no and try and show your people what a good Republican you are. But you 3 over here, this time you're voting. And next time we'll switch it. They just need just enough votes, right? So they'll let the troublemakers vote no. Now, there is one guy, Mr. Massey, Representative Massey, who Trump said he's going to kick out of the party. He's going to get him thrown out of office. He's going to primary him, right? Thomas Massey, because he doesn't do what Trump wants. This attack dog shit just doesn't hold up, right? That's why Reagan was, in my opinion, truly the greatest president in the last 100 years or more, because he could communicate in such a way and explain himself in a way that was understood by the common man and someone who needed the technical information as well. Tell me if I should or should not support this, but then give me the reasons why. Don't say you're going to do this or I'm going to call you an asshole and I'm going to get you thrown out of office and I'm going to make fun of you and shit. Right? The control, James, it is worth defending. And that's why the Epstein list will not come out. Well, we're going to fight for it. We're going to demand it. And if it comes out with real names and real people and people get arrested, then we're on the right path, because there will be shit and hell to pay. They do not want to give up their control of congressmen, of senators, of judges, apparently of Trump. They don't want to give up that control. Thank you, Mr. Nicholson. Have a great weekend. Remember, folks, Sunday Night Live, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back with the full-fledged, full-on, Sunday Night Live, the zoo. Okay, man, where are we rolling next? These topics are great. There's a lot to discuss. We got Alan Meyer Jensen. He says, no bill needs over 1,000 pages unless they hide stuff, right? Same old scam. That's correct. That's correct. I listened to a political expert, I think 3 days ago. He was talking about how they try doing little bills and they just get screwed up in Congress and screwed up in the Senate, right? They just, so then they have to, in order to fund the government. Oh no, we don't want a government shutdown. We need everything in one big package, one big, beautiful bill. We need to put everything in one big package, call it an omnibus, right? It's more like getting railed by a train in a prison bathroom for the American taxpayer. But that's why they do that. In fact, I'll tell you what, Alan, guess what? They're not done. Congress is now putting together another giant smorgasbord of multiple hundreds, if not thousands of pages of legislation, and no one has the time to read it. Guess what? Now, artificial intelligence can read it and pull out the pork, pull out the bullshit, show you where the waste is, etc. Oh, artificial intelligence was supposed to help the powers that be run the world, but it seems to be working for us too, doesn't it? Crazy stuff. Thank you, Mr. Jensen. Good to see you back as well. Mr. Uman, who's up next on the Prepared Mind channel? We got Boomer checking in with a $10 super chat on the Friday free-for-all. He says, Trump's got nothing to gain as the president of the United States, as the POTUS. He already had the notoriety and the wealth. Is it possible he's compromised? First off, he did have something to gain. And it's not what you think. It's not money. It's fame. It's to satisfy his ego. It's to have something to do. The man is a lifelong workaholic. The son of a bitch still stays up later than I can and gets probably up earlier than zero dark, right? But that's what he has to gain. And he has a grand vision of his legacy, right? We talk about George Washington. We talk about Andrew Jackson. We talk about John Adams. We talk about Thomas Jefferson. We talk about Andrew Jackson is one of my favorites, right? We do talk about Abraham Lincoln, Teddy Roosevelt, FDR. We talk about different presidents for different reasons. But a lot of people want Trump to be the greatest president of all time. Really? The greatest president of all time says it's okay for rich elites to kidnap, groom, rape, and even murder children, huh? I'm pretty sure when I looked up some of those George Washington quotes, oh, yeah, there it is right there. Old GW. He said, don't rape kids unless you can get away with it. Otherwise, it's fine, and people will support you anyways because you're so cool. Yeah, that sounds like a George Washington fucking quote, doesn't it? Unbelievable. But yeah, he had notoriety, but he wants more. You see, his appetite for that, Mr. Boomer, is insatiable. And therefore, his legacy and his power, and then also creating a, what do they call it? This is the deal, Boomer. Everything goes, that's our label. That's our image, right? They want that. They want this legacy. So maybe Don Jr. or Eric or Barron even can get into politics and control it. Maybe Laura, right? Whoever right? Ivanka, any of the Trump kids, right? Business, politics, financing, banking, stuffing him in there, right? That's what they want. The brand, right? That's what they call things today. It's the Trump brand, which is make a lot of money, bullshit your way, threaten people, and allow pedophilia. That's the Trump brand. Hey, I told you guys from the very beginning, he does great, I'll commend him. He does shit, and I'll condemn him. And he deserves condemnation. for saying we should just forget about it, let it go, whatever. He called Jeffrey Epstein a creep. That was it. What did he say about us? Stupid, right? Just, it's a big fuck you from him to us. Now, to your second part, Boomer, is it possible he's compromised? Yes. Yes. In fact, I believe, if I'm correct, yeah. I put another meme up for a thumbnail. Lots of pictures of him have come out. A lot of pictures of him with Epstein that I've never seen before. And Jizzy Maxwell that I've never seen before. A lot of them. And there was the lawsuit where it was alleged that he, Donald Trump, and Jeffrey Epstein, at Jeffrey Epstein's New York apartment, raped multiple times a girl who was at the time 13 years old. This was a lawsuit where it was alleged, and the case just disappeared. The woman has resurfaced and said she was threatened, and not just threatened with physical harm, but she and her family had death threats unless she dropped the case. I don't know if it's true. How the fuck could I know? What I do know is that it's possible he's compromised. And a lot more information is coming out. And it's not good. I'm surprised the Democrats have not used this before. That he said, not just to grab him by the pussy, but, when he was doing the Miss Teen USA, he could just walk in. This is what was reported. He'd just walk in while they're all getting undressed and they're naked or whatever. And he thought it was great being in that position of power and authority and just do whatever he wanted. It's possible because we know Trump likes young women. It's possible because Melania Trump is much younger than him. It's possible. But we are not going to be allowed to know unless somebody with the guts and the connections and the evidence goes public. And that's the thing is, why doesn't this ever go public? The real information, not just a scoop or a guess or a lawsuit that was dismissed or some pictures. Why not real evidence? Well, the people that have real evidence end up dead. Anthony Bourdain, Seth Rich, everyone on the Clinton death list, they just end up dead. And you hear about it more and more often. This whistleblower dead. This whistleblower dead. This person had evidence dead. This witness dead. The recipe, if you're being threatened, is to go public. That's the way you stop them. Now, right, and the bigger the person, Trump's at the top. He says, if I get killed, if I get shot, if I die, if I have a heart attack, if I am, whatever, for any fucking reason, if I die, it's because the pedophiles, killed me. That's how you do it. That's the only way you fucking do it. Anyways, thank you, Boomer. Hope to see you on Sunday, man. It's going to be a hell of a show. What's happening? I don't know, but I think something crazy is going to happen. I hope that you are ready to fight back, folks. In England, they started rioting. Who? Those rascally Muslims? No. The British. The indigenous British people, a.k.a. whites, started rioting because yet another girl was raped and murdered. In Spain, they're not rioting and burning stores, folks. They're rioting and going after Muslims. In Spain, the Muslims started attacking people in a small town, just about killed an old man. That went national. They started going after the Muslims. In fact, in Spain, they burned down a mosque. So now we have a holy war between, civilized Westerners and the Muslims. Who does that benefit, by the way? You know who it benefits? Government. Government always benefits from more. They get more power, more control, more say. They can say, you're the bad one, or you're the good one, and you're the bad. They can need to make up the rules. And they go, oh, we need to step in and fix this. We're the government. More power, more control, more censorship, more laws. But who controls the government gets to control all that new power in the government. So you can guess whoever is controlling Trump and whoever is controlling Downing Street in London, whoever is controlling Brussels, when they get more power, that controlling organization, that Leviathan of perversion, gets to control it all. Anyways, crazy business. Well, in France, I just talked about Spain and then England, but in France, the people have also had enough of this Muslim shit. A security guard, not a cop, but a security guard, grabbed an anti-Israeli keffiyeh-wearing protester by the fucking ear, right? Because he's being a jackass. Took him by the ear at the Tour de France, which is the world's biggest, most famous bicycle race. Took this guy and threw him over a barrier. You see, again, there's a security guard, not a cop. People that are rioting in London, pissed off in London, going after the regular people. Down in Spain, they're going after them. They're going to do it in Ireland. Everywhere they need to do this. These people need to be thrown out of the country. They need to be deported. I'm not saying do anything violent or illegal, but this is what needs to happen because they will never, ever assimilate. And they've told us that. Period. Are you prepared for what they, the bad guys, do? Are you prepared for what they, the government bad guys, do? Because they're all not done. Not yet. Not yet. Ooh, man, who's up next on the show? We've got Deplorable Yankee Redneck. He says, Congress just gave another $500 million to Israel today. Shows you that they are owned. The day after the leader of Mossad visited Trump. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you bet. Yep, the Israel delegation came over. Congress lined up and kissed King Bibi's bunghole. And now they're throwing more money at him. Oh, wait a moment. Didn't anyone hear about Israel blowing up the last church, the last Christian church in Syria? I think it's the last church in the town of or city of Damascus. But they blew it up. They hit it and then, oh, it was an accident. Oh, I'm sorry. And Israel is using munitions, weapons from the United States of America. How do you blow up a Christian church with a tank or an artillery round? Whoops. Is that good enough? Did anyone hear that Israel said, sorry about that, we're going to rebuild your church even bigger than it was? We're going to donate money to build 2 churches. Of course, that money would come from the United States, and they would just turn around and hand it over there. But no, they just said, sorry about that. Everyone move along, nothing to see here. Just a blown up fucking Christian church. Has nothing to do with anything else going on. In fact, why are they in Syria anyways? Someone answer me that, right? Why are they in Syria? Crazy. Crazy business. Wow. These left-wing scumbags have allowed this country to be destroyed as much as they could. They have promoted, they have allowed, they've accepted the agenda of the Talmud, which is promote homosexuality, transgenderism, drag queens, all forms of sexual licentiousness. So here's the story, folks. Another peaceful trans faggot whose pronouns were he, she, they, and ye, X-E. What the fuck does that even mean? And remember, folks, that in the New Testament, well, I think the Bible, period, the fallen angels always refer to themselves as us, we, and them, right? Plural. Anyways, this trans faggot got arrested in rural Michigan, being caught, folks, on surveillance, caught on camera, throwing a firebomb, a Molotov cocktail, into a Republican office. Somehow, of course, this is a right-wing extremist attack. They tried actually saying that, according to Democrats, who have now gone full retard. They've got nothing left. What a shit show, folks. And they're not going to quit. They're not going to give up. They're not going to go away. They aren't, no matter how bad their poll numbers get, no matter how stupid they sound. I mean, we know now Trump's approval is sucking badly. But despite that, the approval rating for Democrats in Congress is still dropping, and it is now below 20%. Brand new poll came out. No matter how bad Trump sucks, the Democrats are still sucking too, right? Trump's being a dipshit. It's not helping the Democrats. So this claim that the Democrats are going to wipe the board clean in the midterms, so allow Trump to support pedophilia and hide it and protect it, because we don't want to lose the midterms. Who gives a fuck if we lose the midterms? We just won the whole fucking shebang. The House, the Senate, and the presidency, and they've done fucking nothing. They can't even shut down bureaucracy without some local fucking judge telling them, can't do that. Bang the gavel. You, Mr. President, judges are stopping him. Trump's lobbyist organizations are stopping him. Right? The midterms, folks, might be a vote of zero confidence on all sides. It's going to be zero confidence in the Washington, D.C. government because they all suck. So I don't know if it's going to be a landslide sweep for the Democrats or the Republicans, but who cares? The Republicans want to lose. They want to not pass anything. In fact, they're willing to work harder on Democrat bills than they are on Republican bills. The Make America Great Again, Protect America, America First. I do want to commend the politicians in Washington, D.C., who are now coming up and standing up and pointing out the pedophilia, and that there's a list and that there's evidence and that it all needs to be released. Those politicians are going to get their asses handed to them in hot water. But I commend them for sticking and standing up for what is right. Okay, Mr. Uman, shit, I got 1 minute left. Uman said, promises made, promises waiting to be kept, just like last time, and the time before that, and the time before that. Hoping the next one will be better. We got Bush versus Dukakis. We got Bush versus Clinton. We got Clinton versus Dole. We got Al Gore versus George W. And then George W. versus John F. Kerry. And then we got McCain versus Barack. And then we got Mittens Romney versus Barack. And then in 2016, we got Hillary. Yet another tired, worn out, and talking about worn out, nasty bitch versus Trump. And they went nuts over Trump. And then they brought in Biden, another sellout sack of shit, worthless piece of crap to run in 2020, and they stole the election. And then we got Kamala, a fresh face on not a fresh everything else. Not fresh at all, folks, versus Trump, and Trump wins again. But it seems like Trump, as the new boss, is the same as the old boss. Folks, I'll see you Sunday Night Live, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to thank everyone for the great support. Share the videos, share the links, and when we're live, share at that point to get people there live so they understand what the hell is going on. Because America needs to wake up, take the red pill, get prepared, and get into the fight. Thanks a million, guys. Semper Fi. God bless.